It's your favorite beanie mofo fresh off the banana boat. Big Lou tapping on in with what it do. Big Lou, NFZR2. If this is the first time you're coming to the channel at What to Do with Big Lou, it'd be highly appreciated if you sub, like, and share the channel with your family, friends, folks, gente, peoples, associates, comrades, camaradas, panas, associos, associates, buddies, pals. And also feel free to comment. I respond back to all comments. As you can tell from that thumbnail, it is 2/3 of the big three, right? None other than Larry Legend, Larry Bird, and Kevin McHale, aka the Black, what was his nickname? The Black Hole, I believe it was. So Kevin McHale was born Kevin Edward McHale on December 19th, 1957. As everybody knows, he was an American professional basketball player, coach, analyst who played his entire career for the Boston Celtics. He's a Hall of Fame inductee and is regarded as one of the greatest power forwards of all time. He's born in Hibbing, Minnesota, 6'10", 210 pounds. He went to Hibbing High School in Minnesota. He went to University of Minnesota 1976 to 1980. And in 1980, he was drafted first round, third pick overall by the Celtics. And this was a pick that did belong to the Golden State Warriors. He played from 1980 to 1993, the power forward position. He wore the number 32. His coaching career was 2005 to 2015. Like I mentioned, he played with the Celtics his whole career from 80 to 93. He was a coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2005, and then again in 2008 to 2009. And he was also a coach from 2011 to 2015 with the Houston Rockets. Here's some of his career highlights. He's a three-time NBA champion, 1981, 1984, 1986. Seven-time NBA All-Star, 1984, 1986, 87, 88, 89, 90, and 91. He's an All-NBA First Team, 1987. He's a three-time NBA All-Defensive First Team, 86, 87, 88. He's a three-time NBA All-Defensive Second Team, 83, 89, and 90. He's a two-time NBA Sixth Man of the Year, 84 and 85. NBA All-Rookie First Team, 1981. And he's a member of the NBA Anniversary Team's 50th and 75th anniversary. His number 32 is retired by the Boston Celtics. He's a first team All Big Ten, 1980. And his number 44 is retired by the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And he's also Minnesota Mr. Basketball in 1976. Some of his career statistics are points, 17,335 points for an average of 18 points a game, 7,122 rebounds for 7.3 rebounds a game, and 1,690 blocks for 1.7 blocks per game. His coaching record in the NBA was 232 wins and 185 losses for a .556 winning percentage. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, and he's also in the College Basketball Hall of Fame. And he's a two-time gold medalist. Gold medal at the Pan American Games in San Juan, and also gold medal in the 1979 Mexico City. So he was born to Paul Austin McHale and Josephine Patricia in Hibbing, Minnesota. In his senior year at Hibbing High School, he was named Minnesota Mr. Basketball in 1976 and led his team to a runner-up finish in the AA Minnesota State Championship game. He is of Croatian descent on his mother's side and Irish on his father's side. So it's 80 to 84, he was the sixth man coming off the bench. So entering the NBA, 1980 NBA draft, the Celtics held the number one pick over. The Celtics held the number one overall pick, but in a pre-draft trade considered by many to be among the most lopsided in NBA history, Celtics president Red Auerbach dealt the pick an additional first-round pick to the Golden State Warriors for center Robert Parrish and the Warriors' first-round pick, the third overall, which the Celtics used to draft McHale. McHale's stay in Boston got off to a rocky start as he held out for a large contract, even threatening to play in Italy before signing a 3-year deal with the Celtics, backing up Cedric Maxwell at forward. McHale made an immediate impact and was named to the NBA's all-rookie first team in his rookie season. The Boston Celtics finished with a 62-20 record. In the playoffs, they swept the Bulls in the first round. And then in the Eastern Conference Finals, they faced a 3-1 deficit against the 76ers. But Boston won the last 3 games of the series, including Game 6 on Philly's home court. And then they beat the Rockets in 6 games to win the championship that year, the Larry O'Brien title. And then the Celtics failed to advance to the NBA Finals the next 2 seasons. Philly extracted a measure of revenge in the 82 Eastern Conference Final, beating Boston at home in the 7th game. In the 83 Eastern Conference Semifinals, the Celtics were swept by the Milwaukee Bucks. McHale won the first of his consecutive NBA six-man awards as Boston won a league best 62 games in 83-84. With the hiring of new head coach, former Celtic Casey Jones, and the acquisition of Phoenix Suns guard Dennis Johnson, Boston seemed primed to make yet another run at a 15th championship. After surviving a 7-game semifinal battle with the Knicks, the Celtics avenged the previous season's playoff loss to Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals. Boston would face the Lakers in the NBA Finals in the highly anticipated matchup. In Game 4 of the Finals, with the Celtics trailing in both the game and the series, McHale delivered a hard foul to Kurt Rambis as the Lakers forward raced to the basket. The physical play touched off a bench-clearing scuffle. Boston came back to win the game in overtime and tie the series at 2 games apiece. They eventually prevailed in 7 games to win the franchise 15th championship. So that's a second ring. McHale continued to come off the bench during the first half of the 80-45 season, but moved into a starting role in February 85 after Maxwell suffered a knee injury. McHale enjoyed his greatest scoring night, setting the Celtics single-game scoring record with 56 points. 2 nights later, McHale scored 42 against the Knicks. 9 days after McHale had scored 56, Larry Bird established a new Celtics single-game scoring mark by pouring in 60 versus the Hawks. But then they faced the Lakers that year, and the Lakers beat them in the finals in 6 games. Now 85-88, torture chamber as a full-time starter. 85-86 edition of the Boston Celtics was the franchise 16th NBA championship and is considered one of the greatest in team history. The Celtics acquired former NBA most valuable player Bill Walton in a trade from the Los Angeles Clippers in September of that year, 1985. They added the 6'11 center to its already formidable front line. Boston sent Cedric Maxwell to the Clippers to complete the trade, clearing the way for McHale to move into a full-time starting role. McHale averaged better than 20 points per game for the first time in his career, 21.3, and finished 13 in the NBA most valuable player voting. He joined starters Bird, Parrish, Johnson, and Danny Ainge as the Celtics steamrolled the NBA with the league best 67-15 record. The team set a then NBA record by finishing with 82-18 win-loss record, including playoffs, breaking the record of 81 victories by the 71-72 Lakers. See, Boston won 41 of his first 50 games, including 2 victories over the Lakers in a rout of the Clippers on December 30th, 1985. McHale set his single game high in rebounds with 18, a mark he tied against the Pistons in 1989. An extremely durable player through the first 5 seasons of his career, McHale missed 14 games in early 86 due to an injured Achilles tendon in his left ankle, but was healthy in time for the playoffs. Boston rolled through the Eastern Conference, winning 11 of 12 games versus Chicago, Atlanta, and Milwaukee. For the second time in 5 years, the Celtics faced Houston in the NBA Finals, and Boston won the championship in 6 games. McHale averaged 25.8 points per game in the finals to lead all scorers. By his 7th pro season, McHale had rehearsed and refined his low post moves and had become one of the NBA's most dominant offensive forces, out-leaping, out-spinning, out-maneuvering defenders after defender in his torture chamber. McHale, it said that Kevin McHale is one of the greatest low post players to ever play the game. McHale was better than in 86-87, setting career highs and scoring 26 points a game and 10 rebounds a game. He also became the first player in NBA history to shoot 60% or better from the field, 60.4%, and 80% or better from the free throw line, 83.6 in the same season. McHale was named to the All-NBA first team and was named the NBA's best defensive player by the league's coaches and finished 4th in the most valuable player voting behind Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and teammate Larry Bird. In 9 games from February 23rd to March 13, 1987, McHale averaged 30.7 points a game, 10 rebounds per game, while shooting 71.7% from the floor. During this stretch, McHale scored a season high in points, 38 versus the Pistons on March 1st. In a win at Chicago on March 27, McHale broke the navicular bone in his right foot. He ignored doctors' advice that the injury would be career-threatening and continued to play. In the playoffs, a hobbled McHale averaged 39 minutes per game and connected on 58% of his shots as Boston again won the Eastern Conference title. Boston swept the Bulls in the first round for the 2nd straight year and survived 2 epic but bruising 7-game series with the Bucks and Pistons. The battered and fatigued Celtics, with not only McHale but also Parrish, 2 sprained ankles, Ainge, leg injury, and Walton, broken foot, playing hurt, then lost to the Lakers in 6 games in the 87 NBA Finals. Off-season surgery on his injured right foot and ankle forced McHale to sit out the first month of the 87-88 season. He scored 22 points in 22 minutes of play in his return to the Celtics on December 1st, 1987 versus the Atlanta Hawks. Teammate Danny Ainge once told McHale the black hole of the low post, joking that when the basketball was passed inside to McHale, it disappeared because he rarely passed it back out to the perimeter. But in a win over the Dallas Mavericks on April 3rd, 1988, McHale played the role of passer and distributed a career-high 10 assists. Let's see. The Celtics won 57 games and made their 5th straight appearance in the Eastern Conference Finals. McHale shot 60% from the field, and averaged a career playoff high of 25.4 points per game as Boston defeated the New York Knickerbockers in 4 games and the Hawks in a 7-game semifinal series. He averaged 26.8 points per game and shot 56% from the field, including a game-tying 3-point shot in overtime of the game 2. But Boston fell to the Detroit Pistons in 6 games in the conference final. Head coach Casey Jones retired at season's end, and the Celtics of the Bird McHale Parrish era would never again advance past the conference semifinals. Injury and decline, 1988. Injuries limited Bird to 6 games in 88-89, and the Celtics slipped to 42-40. New head coach Jimmy Rogers coaxed the team into playoffs as the Eastern Conference 8th and final seed behind the play of McHale, Parrish, and second-year guard Reggie Lewis. Reggie Lewis. Parrish, and second-year guard Reggie Lewis. Celtics, without the injured Bird, faced the Pistons in the playoffs for the third straight year. Detroit held McHale to 19 points per game and less than 50% shooting from the field. Pistons swept the Celtics en route to their first NBA championship. The 89-90 season marked the last time McHale was healthy enough to play in all 82 games, regular season games, for the Celtics. But the season was of one discontent for Boston. Second-year point guard Brian Shaw left the team to play in Europe after a salary dispute. Bird returned to the court following his various injuries, but was criticized by teammates, including McHale, for taking too many shots and trying to dominate games on his own. Rodgers moved McHale back into his old six-man role for the majority of the regular season, with Ed Pinckney taking McHale's spot in the starting lineup. McHale's scoring slipped back into the teens coming off the bench, with the Celtics 34-25. Rodgers decided to put McHale into the starting quarterback position. Okay. Rodgers decided to put McHale into the starting lineup once again. McHale averaged 24 points and 9 rebounds down the stretch as the Celtics went 18-5, finished one game behind Philadelphia in the Atlantic Division. McHale became the first player in 20 years to finish in the NBA's top 10 in field goal percentage, 7th, and free throw percentage, 5th in the same season. Boston took the first two games of the first round playoff series with the Knicks, including a record-setting 157-128 score in Game 2. The Knicks fought back and won the last three games of the series. Head coach Jimmy Rodgers was fired following the playoff disappointment. McHale contemplated retirement in the offseason after having another surgery performed on his right ankle, but came back for the 90-91 season. Okay, so that's the 80s for Kevin McHale. So Larry Bird was born Larry Joe Bird on December 7, 1956. As we all know, former American professional basketball player, coach, and executive in the NBA. Nicknamed the Hick from French Lick and Larry Legend. Bird is widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He's from French Lick, Indiana. He's 6'9", 220 pounds. He went to Springs Valley High School in French Lick, Indiana. He attended Indiana State 1976 to 1979. In the 1978 draft, he was the first pick. He was the first round six pick overall by the Boston Celtics. His playing career, he played his entire career with the Boston Celtics from 1979 to 1992. His number 33, his coaching career was from 1997 to 2000. As a player, like I mentioned, he played his entire career, like Kevin McHale, with the Boston Celtics from 1979 to 1992. And as a coach, from 97 to 2000 with the Indiana Pacers. Career highlights and awards: he's a three-time NBA champion, just as Kevin McHale, 81, 84, 86. Two-time NBA Finals MVP, 84 and 86. Three-time regular season NBA Most Valuable Player, 84, 85, 86. He's a 12-time All-Star, 1980, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 90, 91, 92. NBA All-Star Game MVP, 1982. 9-time All-NBA First Team, 1980, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. He's an All-NBA Second Team, 1990. He's a three-time All-Defensive Second Team, 83, 82, 83, 84. NBA Rookie of the Year, 1980. NBA All-Rookie Team 1980. He's a three-time NBA three-point contest winner, 86, 87, 88. He's a two-time 50, 40, 90 club, 87, 88. He's the AP Athlete of the Year, 86. NBA Lifetime Achievement Award, 2019. NBA All NBA Anniversary Teams, the 50th and 75th anniversary. His number 33 is retired by the Boston Celtics. He's the National College Player of the Year, 1979. Two-time consensus first-team All-American, 78 and 79. He's a third-team All-American, NABC, 1977. The two-time MVC Player of the Year, 78 79. Number 33, retired by the Indiana State Sycamores. As coach, he was the NBA Coach of the Year in 1998 and NBA All-Star Game head coach in 98. As an executive, he was the NBA Executive of the Year 2012. Some of his career stats are points, 21,791 points for an average of 24.3 points a game. 8,974 rebounds for an average of 10 rebounds a game. And 5,695 assists for 6.3 a game. His coaching career is 147 and 67 with the 68% winning percentage. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame as a player, and he's also in the College Hall of Fame. Yeah. Three-time gold medalist, 1977 Sofia, 1992 Portland, and also Olympic Games, the Dream Team, Barcelona, 92. Bird was born in West Baden Springs, Indiana, to Georgia Nee Kearns and Claude Joseph Joe Bird, a veteran of the Korean War. Bird's parents were of Irish, Scottish, and some Native American descent on both sides of his family. He has 4 brothers and a sister. He was raised in nearby French Lick, where his mother worked 2 jobs to support Larry and his 5 siblings. 1979 and 92, Boston Celtics joined the Celtics. 78-79. Bird was selected by the Boston Celtics with the 6th pick overall in the 78 NBA draft. He did not sign with the Celtics immediately. Instead, he played out. Celtics general manager Red Auerbach publicly stated that he would not pay Bird more than any Celtic on the current roster. But Bird's agent, Bob Wolf, told Red Auerbach that Bird would reject any sub-market offers and simply enter the NBA draft instead, where Boston's rights would expire when the draft began on June 25th. Bird would have been Ali Pop picker after protected negotiations. Let's see. So Bird inked a 5-year, $3.25 million contract with the team on June 8th, making the highest paid rookie in sports history. Early success. In his rookie season, Bird immediately transformed the Celtics into a title contender. The team improved his win total by 32 games from the year before he was drafted and finished first in the Eastern Conference. In his career debut, Bird scored 14 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists in a 114-106 win over the Houston Rockets. On November 14, 1979, Bird recorded his first career triple-double with 23 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 115-111 over the Pistons, right? On November 23rd, Bird recorded his first 30-point game scoring along with 11 rebounds in the win over the Indiana Pacers. With averages of 21 points a game, 10.4 rebounds a game, and 4.5 assists a game, and 1.7 steals per game for the season, he was selected to the All-Star team and named Rookie of the Year. In the conference finals, Boston was eliminated by the Philadelphia 76ers. Before the 80-81 season, the Celtics acquired forward Kevin McHale in the draft and acquired center Robert Parrish from the Golden State Warriors, forming a Hall of Fame trio for years to come. The front court included Bird, McHale, and Parrish. Regarded. Okay, Robert Parrish. Parrish was regarded as one of the greatest front courts in NBA history. Behind Bird's leadership and Boston's upgraded roster, the Celtics again advanced to the conference finals for a rematch with the 76ers. Boston fell behind 3-1 to start the series, but won the next 3 games to advance. Okay. So then they beat the 76ers in a rematch, and but they fell behind again to start the series, but won the next 3 games. Okay, I already got that. To advance against Houston, where they beat Houston in 6 games. This is when they had the Twin Towers, Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon. So he averaged 22 points a game, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 2.3 steals per game for the postseason, and 15.3 points, 15.3 rebounds, and 7 assists per game for the finals. At the 82 All-Star game, Bird scored 19 points en route to it's crazy. People are something else around here. So in 82 All-Star game, Bird scored 19 points en route to winning the All-Star game MVP. At the conclusion of the season, he earned his first All-Defensive Team selection. He eventually finished runner-up in the Most Valuable Player award, voting to Moses Malone. Bird was named MVP of the 83-84 season with averages of 24 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 6.6 assists, and 1.8 steals per game. In the playoffs, the Celtics avenged their loss from the year before to the Bucks, winning in 5 games in the Eastern Conference Finals to advance to the finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. In Game 4, the Lakers led the Birds in lead the Game 4. So they advanced to the finals against the Lakers. In Game 4, the Lakers, led by Bird's college rival Magic Johnson, were on the verge of taking a commanding 3-1 series lead before a flagrant foul was committed on Rambis that resulted in a brawl and caused the Lakers to lose their composure. Boston came back to win the game, eventually winning the series in 7. Bird was named Finals MVP behind 27.4 points per game, 14 rebounds a game, and 3.6 assists per game. And then in December of 84, Bird recorded 48 points to go along with 14 rebounds, 5 assists in a 28-21 win over the Houston Rockets. What? Let's see. During the 85 season, Bird injured his back, shoveling crushed rock to create a driveway at his mother's house. At least partially as a result of this, he experienced back problems for the remainder of his career. Before the start of the 85-86 season, the Celtics made a daring trade for Bill Walton, an all-star center with a history of injury. The risk they paid off. Walton's acquisitions helped Boston win a league best 67 games. And let's see. You guys only ran for the risk paid off. Walton's acquisition helped Boston win a league best 67 games. One of Bird's career highlights occurred at the 86 NBA All-Star weekend when he walked into the locker room at the inaugural three-point shootout and asked who was going to finish second before winning the shootout. On November 27, 85, Bird recorded 47 points to go along with 12 rebounds in a 132-124 win over the Pistons. On March 10, 86, Bird scored 50 points to go along with 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 115-116 loss to the Dallas Mavericks. With averages of 25 a game, 25.8 points. So with the averages of 25.8 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, and 2 steals per game, Bird became just the third player in NBA history to win 3 consecutive MVP awards. In the playoffs, the Celtics lost only 1 game through the first 3 rounds en route to a matchup against the Rockets in the finals. In Game 6 of the final series, Bird recorded a triple-double, 29 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists as the Celtics won the series 4-2 against the Rockets. Bird averaged 24 points, just under 10 rebounds, and just under 10 assists per game for the championship round. The 86 Celtics were commonly ranked as one of the greatest basketball teams of all time. The 86 Celtics are commonly ranked as one of the greatest basketball teams of all time. And with the Boston Globe's Peter May and Grantland's Bill Simmons listing them at number 1. Falling short 86 to 88. In 87, the Celtics made their last finals appearance of Bird's career, fighting through difficult series against the Bucks and Detroit Pistons. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Pistons, with 5 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, and Boston trailing the Pistons 107-106. Bird stole an inbound pass. Falling out of bounds, Bird turned and passed the ball to teammate Dennis Johnson, who converted a game-winning 2-point layup with less than a second left. The dramatic play saved the series for the Celtics. When they reached the NBA Finals, the Celtics When they reached the NBA Finals, the Celtics, hampered by devastating injuries, lost to a dominant Lakers team that had won 65 games during the season. The Celtics ended up losing to the Lakers in 6, with Bird averaging 24 points on 44.5% shooting, 10 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game in the championship series. The Celtics fell short in 88, losing to the Detroit Pistons in 6 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, as the Pistons made up the heartbreak the previous season. Between them, Bird and Johnson captured 8 NBA championships during the 1980s, and Magic getting 5 and Bird 3 during the 1980s. Either Boston or Los Angeles appeared in every finals. Throughout the 1980s contest between the Celtics and the Lakers, both during the regular season and in the finals, attracted enormous television audience. The regular season game between the Celtics and Lakers in 87-88 proved to be classic, with Magic Johnson banking in an off-balance shot from the near the three-point line as the buzzer for a 115-114 Lakers win at Boston Garden. Here we go. Late career 88. The late 87-88 season was the highest scoring season of Bird's career. In Game 7 of the 88 Eastern Conference semifinals against the Atlanta Hawks, Bird shot 9 of 10 from the floor in the fourth quarter, scoring 20 points in that quarter and lifting the Celtics to a series clinching victory over Atlanta. Bird finished with 34 points. His effort helped to overcome a 47-point performance by Atlanta's Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins remarked, "The basket was like a well. I couldn't miss. He couldn't miss, and it went down to the last shot of the game. Who were they gonna take, right?" Celtics failed to reach the NBA Finals for the first time in 5 years, losing to the Pistons in 6 games during the Eastern Conference Finals. Bird's 88-89 season ended after 6 games when he had bone spurs surgically removed from both of his heels. He returned to the Celtics in '89, but debilitating back problems and an aging Celtics roster prevented him from regaining his mid-'80s form. Nonetheless, during the final years of his career, Bird maintained his status as one of a premier person. In the final 3 seasons with the Celtics, Bird averaged over 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. Shot better than 45% from the field, led the Celtics playoff appearances. Okay. After leading Boston to a 29-5 start, the 90-91 season, Bird missed 22 games due to a compressed nerve root in his back, a condition that eventually led to his retirement. He had off-season surgery to remove a disc from his back, but his back problems continued, and he missed 37 games during the 91-92 season. During the 92 Eastern Conference semifinals against the Cleveland Cavs, Bird missed 4 of 7 games due to recurring back problems. On August 18, 1992, Bird announced his retirement. Following Bird's departure, the Celtics promptly retired his jersey, number 33. So, she's got some things. She got some things. Wow. So, 75, Bird married Janet Condra. They remained married for less than a year. Following an attempted reconciliation, Bird and Condra had a daughter, Corey, in 1971. Bird married Dina Mattingly in '89. They have 2 adopted children, Connor and Mariah. During his professional career with the Celtics, Bird lived in Boston, suburb of Brooklyn. Let's see. 1, 2, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 times he averaged over 10 rebounds a game. 9 seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 seasons of 21 points or more a game. He also averaged, let me see, 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 24 points or more a game. 1, 2, 4, 5 times the 25 points a game or more. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 times the 26 or more a game. 3 times the 27 more a game. 1, 2, 3 times of 28 games or more a season. And once almost 30 points a game he averaged. In playoffs, he averaged 10 rebounds or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So there it is. That's some of the backdrop on Larry Legend. Just chilling. What's up, my boy? And that's some of the statistics and some of his accomplishments. Larry Bird, as a Celtic, both of these guys played their entire careers with the Celtics, which is a hell of an accomplishment. And I appreciate Just Chilling for tapping in, and I appreciate everybody that's going to end up coming in and watching the video later once it's uploaded to YouTube. With that being said, Big Lou, we're going to tap on out. What to do with Big Lou. Sorry that a few times I went quiet because there was some people, some JCat people were getting close to my car and stuff like that, and I was paying attention to what they were doing. But anyways, again, thanks to everybody that stops in. It's highly appreciated. With that being said, Big Lou's tapping on out.